And that's where we're tracking this
10
storm.
foot.
It's scary.
Yeah, 10-foot surge, and they haven't seen that. They have not seen that in a long time. It's been a while. The winds will not be a factor as much with this on land, at least. It's the wind offshore that's blowing water. Those highest winds will stay offshore, but they're going to push water in our direction. So this will be more of a surge, and then we'll have to watch for the rain to see how much rain we get. Let's start with the numbers. Again, for 5 o'clock official numbers, 50-mile-per-hour winds. It's getting a little bit stronger. It just looks a little bit more like what we would expect it to look like, right? You can see that there. This will continue to strengthen. Category 1 hurricane by tomorrow morning right there near Cozumel, the northeast tip there of the Yucatan. That should bring the center air and then kind of turn it to the north and the northeast. The visible satellite's finally showing us to get some thunderstorms around the center. And that's really what we needed for this strength to come up. We not only have recon out there, I'll show you this, but we have a jet flying out ahead of this, and it's measuring the atmosphere out ahead of it. And that will go into the models tonight and really help us get even a more accurate, we think, model run coming out of that, multiple model runs, of course. So there we are tomorrow at noon. 75-mile-per-hour hurricane moving north now out into the Gulf of Mexico, then north-northeast towards the Big Bend area. If anything, this might have come just a tick to the left, but not much, all right? And the devil's in the details with that. The cone, all this cone says is where the center of the storm may go using error over the last 5 years. How far off were they at this particular time? And they've had the center there, the center there, the center in the middle. So that's why we're watching it closely. 115-mile-per-hour winds, and that sounds really scary, but that will be right out here near the center. All right, it'll be a small area out near the center if that happens. And then unfortunately, it will be near that center when it makes landfall, and that's what they're forecasting now. 70-mile-per-hour winds as it falls apart in South Georgia. So look, this is a solid hurricane making landfall, tropical storm moving into Georgia, and then the winds won't be as much of an issue as much rain will be, especially it gets up into the mountains, up into northern Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee. That's really going to squeeze out some water there. So the timing, Wednesday night through Friday morning. Wednesday night, some scattered showers, late tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours. Small chance for tornadoes in those. We'll have to watch that, but just a little bit of a breeze. As we get into Thursday, that's when we see the problem. Storm surge, 5 to 8 foot for the Tampa Bay area, including in the bay. And that would be Thursday, 2 p.m. through about 10 p.m. Okay, that's going to be the peak for that. Rainfall, 3 to 6 inches. Some areas will get more. We'll have to watch for that. But look at the winds, 35 to 45 sustained with gusts to 60. I think we'll see a few areas, especially say Tarpon Springs northward, that see gusts a little bit more than that. We are likely to start getting some evacuations of level A. If you are asked to evacuate, please do so. It's for your safety, okay? Let's talk winds first. The yellow is tropical storm force winds. Look at that. They get here. I think it's a little later than Thursday at 6 a.m. because that's kind of the leading edge, but say 8, 9 a.m. on Thursday, tropical storm force winds around 35 to 40 will get in here, right? And they'll pick up a little bit throughout the day. This is 2 p.m. See the winds right there? They're actually blowing out of the south and southeast at that time, but watch as the center goes by. See all the hurricane winds offshore? They stay offshore. That's 75 and higher, okay? That's about 55 to 60-mile-per-hour winds just off our coast. And it's so close, I think that's why we'll certainly see gusts in the 60s, if not some spots up towards 70. Now, this is 8 p.m. The wind is now blowing onshore. In fact, it will be after about 2 to 3 o'clock. That is blowing a lot of water up along the coast, and that is the surge issue. Obviously, we expect it up here, but you can see it's blowing pretty good wind into Crystal River as well. Arrival of those winds, this is Thursday at 8 a.m. We're a little bit later than that, so we're going generally right around 9 to 10 a.m. Storm surge warning all the way up and down the coast, but the amount of surge will vary. 3 to 4, 3 to 5 down towards Fort Myers. I think 3 to 4 will do that. But for Sarasota, Bradenton, 4 to 7, 5 to 8, including Pinellas and Hillsborough County. And then look at Hudson, Pasco, Hernando, 6 to 10. I think we'll end up on the lower side of these numbers, and we'll massage these if we need to. But that's why, if you're asked to evacuate, that's the reason why. That's the numbers coming from the Hurricane Center. Now, here's the timing of the rain. This is tomorrow at 7 p.m. We'll get a few afternoon showers with it, but those are rain bands, and we could actually get a quick spin-up tornado in there. That's 1 a.m. on Thursday morning. Notice the heavier rain stays up to our north and the west. 7 a.m. on Thursday. Here we go. Now, by the afternoon, there's the center. Here comes the heavy rain. So it's Thursday afternoon. into the evening hours. That's around 6 p.m. And then notice after that, yes, the rain starts to taper off, but we have these training cells that will move in here. And those could put down quite a bit of rain in a small amount of time over a small area. So those are really down into the details. We'll have to watch that. But here's the deal. That's Thursday at 11 p.m. Everything will slowly be getting better overnight, Thursday night into Friday. No school Wednesday and Thursday, at least for Hillsborough County at this point. You're not going to have school on Friday if that forecast holds, because we still have wind and some rain Thursday night. We still will have people in shelters Thursday night. Our weather impact alert days: late Wednesday, all of Thursday, and the very early morning hours of Friday.
We heard a collective cheer from kids out there. Parents, a little more concerned. Remember, you can stay informed, prepared, and connected throughout the storm. You can download the 10 Tampa Bay Plus streaming app for the latest storm track, impacts, and forecast.